Alright. It's finally week one on the mountain. I just launched this from the schedule. Seems like it's going to be a very hot track this week. When I launched it, it was 39 degrees, and it's already up to 44 degrees track temp. So with such a hot track, this won't be the fastest lap, but I'll try to get a nice, clean, smooth lap in. I am using my my quali set that I'm posting. The delta is just a lap that I put in right at the start of the session. So right when it was still 39 degrees. Alright, so down here into the chase, I'm looking at the 150 board, braking right before that. I don't really want to hit the curb on the left. It's not the end of the world if I touch it, but upsets the car a bit. The first curb on the left, not that one I just touched. Here, braking between the 100 and 150 sign. Closer to the 100, but not too close. And then here, right at the 100. Into second. Down here, I'm looking for the 100 board, braking right before it, getting into third and turning in a little early to get into the groove, get into the camber of the track. Lifting right at the text on the wall on the right, then into third, second. Back up into third. Lifted a little too late there, so really screwed up this entire sector. Try to do that better next lap. I wanted to lift basically right where the red part of the wall starts. Cross skyline, braking into third, take a lot of the curb into second. Try to set up the dipper as much as you can to kind of straight line or keep it straight on the exit so you can be full throttle immediately.
Sector 2 is 0.6 off your best.
Using all the track through here. Braked a little late. Compromises my exit. I braked kind of right at the 150 and I wanted to brake right before it. Turn in early, avoid that curb.
That was a 203.5. You're currently 0.9 off your best.
Much better turn one. So you're right at, maybe right before the 100. Getting in the camber early. Could have used a little bit more throttle through there. Lifting, a little bit of brake into third, second. And yeah, lifting right at the red. Back on the throttle hard. Lifting a bit. Lifting, touch of brakes. Get to the curb on the left. I didn't quite get there. Staying in the third here, even though you touch the limiter at the end. Into second.
Remaining. Sector 2 is a tenth off your best.
Hard to talk and focus over the mountain. So I didn't do that perfectly, but hot track. I think it'll end up being a decent, okay lap. I will look at the replay quickly of this lap and try to point out anything I may have not said while I was driving it. That's a 2027.
202.7. Sector 3 times okay.
On a 44.5 degree track compared to, I did a 0.9 on a 20 degree track, so makes a big difference. Oops. Okay, so I'll just go through this quickly here. So yeah, right before the 100, right at the 100 is where I'm looking at for turn 1. And I'm looking right before the 100 here. I want to get to the right early because the road cambers, you want to get your car kind of into the groove. Because if you're a lane out trying to turn in, then you want to, your car just wants to slide out to the left. Then I'm trying to use as much throttle, carry as much speed as I can through here without pushing out left until I exit the corner, then it's fine to push out. Then here, like I said, the text on the right wall is where I'm lifting, touch of brakes, letting the car coast through here because too much brakes and it wants to go sideways. Then a little bit harder onto the brakes, but try to carry as much speed up the hill as you can. And lifting right at kind of the red part of the wall, letting the car turn to the right. Once you get turned towards the curb, then you can get on 100% on the throttle if you get enough rotation and you time it right. I didn't quite do that here. I started lifting again because I was going to hit this left wall. Then here, you can do a full lift like I did here and just, whoops. I just fully lifted on the downhill and then back on the throttle on the uphill. If that's the safe way, you can gain a tenth or two by holding on the throttle a little bit further, and then once you hit the compression, using just a stab of the brakes to rotate the car, and then back on the throttle. Then up here, I'm trying to turn in as I hit the curb, or maybe even slightly before. Because if you get over the hill before you turn in, then you have no front grip. Your car's just floating, and you won't turn. You'll just go wide. So you need to get your car pointed left before you get over the hill. I'd like to be a little bit on the curb here, get as close to the wall as I can. Because I had to lift here a little bit on exit. If I'm pointed a little bit further left, slightly on the curb, then I can stay flat through right here. And here, no real good marker. It's just do a couple laps, get a feeling for where you need to brake. Kind of soft on the brakes because you're going over the crest. You can use a bunch of the curb. The car's stable enough to do that. Into then shifting into third and then into second. Trying to stay to the right through the right-hander so you can set up this left-hander as early as possible. If you're a little bit further right than I am here and you're pointed left, then you can just be full throttle, a lot smoother than this is. I did it, but you see my car is kind of sliding a bit to make that happen. For just to put in a safe lap, I braked a little hard here, but little stab of the brakes, let it roll through the right-hander, and then back on the brakes, pointed straight in the second. Just trying to get on the throttle as early as you can to carry speed down the hill. Using all the track. Then, yeah, right before the 150. Hard on the brakes, down into second. If you touch it's not the end of the world if you touch this curb, but it'll unsettle the car a decent bit, so you won't be able to carry as much speed on exit. And then here, on this right-hander, I lift shift, even though I usually flat shift, just because I feel like when I'm shifting while turning, I get better rotation if I lift while I shift. Because you really have to use all the track there. Then here, like I said, between the 100 and 150, a little closer to the 100. And then you don't want to go deep and try to get speed on the exit. Because the grip out here, just to me, it feels like it just makes the car want to slide. So turning in early. And then hard on the throttle on exit. This is my longest lap guide. Nice. It is my favorite track. So good luck this week.